Security is everybody's business. The security you provide for yourself is the only one that is sure bet. The governed and the government have immense responsibility to make sure that there is security in the land. We are all called and enjoined to ensure that we will take every step to be security conscious. Welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa today. Today we'll be continuing our look into the aftermath of the EndSARS protests and things that happened. And we're asking, what next? What way forward? I already have one guest in the studio and another on Skype to help us maybe look at the answer to that question, what next? Where do we go from here? Really, it's been a lot of mixed discussions, talking here and there, all over. Judicial panels of inquiry have been set up in many states of the Federation, looking at the issues of police brutality and the EndSARS protests and the talked about Lekki shooting. All these things have been kept Nigerians busy during the week. But we need to move ahead. We need to look at it, because without security, there can't be any meaningful development. And it's said that the nation or the society deserve the police they get. And so when you attack your police, it means that you're attacking yourself and you're attacking the country. Welcome to the program. My name still remains Patrick Abambo. In the studio with me already is Chidi Nwosu. Chidi Nwosu is the publisher of Nigerian Security Digest. He's also a public affairs commentator to look at some of these issues. And on Skype already we have beaming with smiles, my brother, my friend Ben Okezie. Ben Okezie, a former crime editor, the pioneer editor-in-chief of the Dawn newspaper and a security expert, is there to also look at some issues that agitates your mind and our mind. But that will be after this report by Shuli Daniels on what transpired during the week at the Nigerian Army headquarters. Sit back.
As has been his tradition since his assumption of office as the Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai called a meeting of his principal staff officers, general officers commanding, and field commanders on Monday, 26th day of October 2020. Though this meeting was with a difference and has one agenda, which is to review security situation in Nigeria in the past weeks and to come out with a better strategy for a more secure country. The meeting offered the opportunity to GOCs of various division and field commanders of ongoing Nigerian Army operations nationwide to give reports of happenings in their areas of responsibilities, AOR, and share ideas with their colleagues. At the end of the meeting, the Acting Director of Nigerian Army Public Relations, Colonel Sagir Musa, read the communique of the meeting.
At the meeting, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, made it unambiguously clear to the PSOs, GOCs, and field commanders that there will be no room for disloyalty amongst all officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. He directed that they, PSOs, GOCs, and field commanders, must reiterate to all their subordinates that the Nigerian Army is determined to ensure democratic stability in Nigeria as the only panacea for development and progress. General Buratai also said the best system of governance is democracy, and we must all ensure that Nigeria's democracy remains stable and steady. We will not allow any force, elements, or destabilizing agents in or outside our country to set our beloved country on fire. We remain resolute in doing everything possible to ensure that subversive elements, detractors, and other enemies of this great nation do not have their aims and objectives of destabilization. The events of the past few days in our dear nation have shown the determination of some unscrupulous individuals and groups to destabilize Nigeria by all means. These same unscrupulous individuals, group, and other undesirable elements have hijacked the peaceful end-SARS protest marches, resulting to widespread violence, acts of wanton destruction, and looting of public and private properties in many parts of the country. These acts led to the imposition of curfew in several states of the Federation, he stated. He also said that right from the onset of end-SARS protests, the Nigerian Army has been aware of the grand design by the sponsors of the protest to draw it into the crisis. The plan was to embark on massive propaganda to discredit the military and the government so as to set the people against the Nigerian Army once it is called out to aid the civil authorities. The Nigerian Army, being aware of the devilish plan, was careful not to be dragged in and issued the initial warning through a press release on 14 October 2020 of our resolve to secure and safeguard a united Nigeria. Now the detractors, alongside their local and international collaborators, have mischievously and deliberately misrepresented troops' effort to ensure compliance with the curfew imposed by legitimate civil authorities in Lagos and other states. These agitators are falsely accusing the Nigerian Army of being responsible for the activities of miscreants, despite glaring evidence to the contrary. They have continually threatened to report the Nigerian Army to International Criminal Court and also threatened various forms of sanction against personnel and their families. Thankfully, however, a large percentage of Nigerians and international community have started seeing through the smoke screen of falsehood and deliberate misrepresentation of facts being orchestrated by enemies of Nigeria and have retracted their earlier false publications.
Shirley Daniels, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. That was the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Chidi Nwosu, reading the communique of the meeting that was held at the Army headquarters. Yes, let me come to you, Chidi. Yep. You listened to the communique.
I did.
First, you'll be following it even before now. Mm-hmm. What is on your mind?
First of all, thank you for having me on this program. I listened to the statement, and it gladdened my heart that in spite of all the distractions and some kind of orchestrated denigrations of the armed forces, the leadership of the military are still focused and resolute in carrying out their constitutional obligations. The duties of the armed forces is not just to defend us from external aggression. There's also the aspect of defending us from internal insurrection. All right, and what transpired between in the past couple of weeks after that Lekki incident, from Wednesday and under that, what happened across the country was simply unbelievable. And I'm very happy that the Army had come out to say, look, we are ever ready to carry out this obligation of ours. We are going to make sure that our democracy is defended. We're going to make sure that anarchy will not reign in our society. We're going to make sure that we're not going to play into the hands of, distractors, what we call agent provocateurs, be them within the country or outside the country. So that particular statement, I consider it very powerful. I saw it as something that has given us hope that, yes, indeed, we have a responsible armed forces, a responsible and responsive armed forces that will be there for us to ensure that nothing will make anybody from nowhere take over our country, by this kind of thing. So to summarize it, yes, that statement made a whole mark, and I'm very happy about it. It's very important that they have to come out to make it very clear, to reassure not just Nigerians but international community that Nigeria, we just passed through a particular phase. Every country always countries have times when they go through this kind of social upheaval, but sometimes there are countries who are not able to contain them, and they get destroyed. You know, we have instances even in North Africa, in some other countries where internal strife like this, snowballed into uncontrollable conflagration.
Syria,
and then,
other countries.
All right, so now we have a military that says, look, we are not going to stand by and watch our country play into the hands of the people who have put the script down to say, look, this country will go down. So I'm glad and I have confidence that they're up to the task.
Okay, I will go to Ben because I'm sure that Ben is also following us up on this to find out what he thinks the event that has happened so far. What is on your mind, also, Ben?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see me, I'm in black. It means that I'm mourning also because as a security writer, I should also think for the security personnel that I write on their behalf. We really thank God that everything has come to normalcy, and we also thank God that we have a military that its leadership has, come up with this type of statements. When I read the statement yesterday, my heart was gladdened that, just like Chidi said, we have a military that has that is above the waters. It's not really ruffled. It's very focused military that understands, the terrain they are operating on, and they know that all their loyalty must be to the federal government, and they know also that they have that constitutional obligation to ensure that they provide that security for the Nigerian populace, and then knowing also having in mind that there are some disgruntled elements that wants to perpetrate evil in the country. So those ones should be checkmated. And then the one that most gladdened me was when they said they are going to join hands with the police, to make sure that they checkmate any of these nuisances that is coming up. Because everybody knew that the NSAS, they have a genuine agitation. But later on, something happened. Water entered the okra soup, like Igbos will say, is what is being investigated. But we thank God that the military and the police are, coming up to understand this situation and then, rise up to the occasion now.
Yes, I think water entered the okra soup, like he said. When the protests got prolonged, obviously, hoodlums will want to capitalize on it. We have seen it all over the world. Just 2 days ago, the Philadelphia issue in U.S., vandals were all over. And even Barcelona yesterday, protests and hoodlums took over, and vandalization of public properties and private properties is also ongoing as we speak. Yeah, but now, based on what you have just said about the policing, military giving support to police, let's watch and listen to this report by Security Watch Africa reporter Shekina Chinkere with the activity of the IGP Mohammed Abubakar Adamu yesterday. She was with the police, and this is the report she put together.
Since Friday, October 16, 2020, when hoodlums under the guise of #EndSARS protests began their killings, destructions and looting spree, government and private individuals have lost lives and properties worth billions in naira. One particular government agency was affected is the Nigeria Police Force. Statistics shows that 22 police personnel were killed and 205 police stations destroyed. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Abubakar Adamu, this Friday delivered a virtual address to the Commissioners of Police of the 36 states of the Federation after he had visited the National Youth Service Corps NYSC camp in Kubwa, Abuja, to assess the level of looting and destructions there, and stopped over at the Federal Capital Territory Command of the Nigeria Police Force. At the NYSC camp, officials of the camp and the NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, took the IGP round to see what is left of the camp.
The challenge we have is that people think that NYSC camps have palliatives. And I use the opportunity to tell Nigerians in various forums that we don't have palliatives in our camps. We are preparing for resumption of our orientation exercise on November 10th, and that is the preparation we are doing. So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to Nigerians to not place attack our facilities, because these corps members are going to be trained and are going to render service to our country.
I would want to appeal to the youth that Nigeria will not move with such kind of actions. And so, whatever we do, we know that God is watching us. We should learn to live well with our community, with the people in the community.
IGP Adamu expressed disappointment with the actions of the hoodlums.
It is really unfortunate that such a very important, critical infrastructure of the country, where our youth, graduates, leaders of tomorrow, are being groomed for them to understand what leadership is, and so that when they graduate, after doing their national service, giving their service to the nation, then they go into the society and contribute to national development. The place was heavily looted to the extent that you will imagine foodstuffs were taken, windows were broken into, even the burglaries of the windows were broken and then taken away. We call on members of the public to please report anybody that they have seen with any property that came from this camp, or any property that such an individual is having that ordinarily he should have not gotten it. It must have been looted from somewhere. Members of the public are called upon to report to the nearest police station for such person to be apprehended and for such items to be recovered.
The Commissioner of Police, FCT, CP Bala Chiroma, was present to receive IGP Adamu and briefed him on recent incidents in the Federal Capital Territory.
It is no news that the infamous NSAS movement, which commenced on the 11th of October at the Unity Fountain, eventually resulted into violent agitations which festered other criminal activities within the last 2 weeks in the FCT. As a result of this, the command recorded 16 major incidences resulting from the violent clashes which erupted at the Bega roundabout, Aku Kabusa roundabout, Kubwa, Dus Al-Haji, and some other places. This was followed by a high wave of looting and vandalization of public infrastructures, warehouses, and other private properties at Kubwa, Gwagwalada, Jabit, Igibu, Ido, and Guye. This series of events led to the tragic loss of about 10 lives, several persons with various degrees of injuries. Some vehicles and properties set ablaze, while others were vandalized.
The Nigeria Police Force helmsman charged the FCT police personnel to continue to ensure the protection of lives and properties of law-abiding citizens.
No amount of provocation, no amount of insult will make us to shy away from our responsibilities, in as much as we are aware that government is behind us. So we'll encourage you to continue performing your duties. We'll encourage you to be professional in performing your duties. We'll encourage you to be civic.
In his virtual address to the Commissioners of Police of the 36 states and the FCT commands of the Nigeria Police Force, IGP Mohammed Abubakar Adamu commended his officers and men for courage and not being cowed by the actions of miscreants and hoodlums.
I have been receiving constant briefing from you on the security situation resulting from the widespread protests and the commendable level of restraint and civility which you all demonstrated in the face of grave provocation by misguided elements masquerading as genuine protesters. I'm very proud of you all, and I thank you for your dedication to the values of your professional callings. I must, however, note that for citizens that are advancing criminal intents and subversive agenda to infiltrate the ranks of genuine advocates of police reform, destroy and loot on the massive scale critical public and private properties, vandalize Nigeria police assets that were built with taxpayers' money and through the collective sacrifice of citizens is most unjustifiable.
Shekina Chinkere, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. I think I'll come to you, Chidi.
Yep.
But maybe let me take from Ben since he's online. Then I will round up with you.
Right.
Yeah, Ben, you heard what the IG said. It's sad that situations like this happen. 22 policemen killed just like that, and 205 police stations burned across the federation. And the IG is asking his men to protect and defend themselves. Some of them, especially the rank and file, are worried. They are demoralized. You are wearing black. You are mourning some of the policemen that died. What do you have to say to all this that has happened to the police?
Yeah, the policeman did not come from heaven. He came within the Nigerian space. They are our fathers, they are our brothers, they are our sons. So the truth of the matter is that they have right to defend themselves. Yes, when you see what is happening, you will find out that throughout the whole incident that happened, no policeman shot. No report where they said a policeman shot at any of the people, and that tells you that they were very. That shows professionalism. They were able to withhold themselves. And that is commendable to a great extent. But
Ben, let me cut you, Ben, because Amnesty International said that policemen shot and killed some protesters.
But where are the reports? It's that they said it does not mean. Please, that Amnesty International says something does not mean we should take it hook, line, and sinker. They have said something like that at about the military in Sambisa Forest, and I was there, and we found out that those things were not true. Okay. But that notwithstanding, in as much as the IG have said that, one will have said that there should be wisdom in most of these things. There's wisdom. When we use wisdom in anything we say, in anything we do, it comes better. The IG might be the occasion he used in saying it is because of the situation that warranted it. Maybe he wouldn't have said it the way he has said it, because even the policemen that he's saying that they should, because now it might instigate some of the policemen. Once you have a gun and somebody comes, either the person just did waka to you, the next thing you will see the person is using his gun against it. So it can instigate. So that's what we are saying, that it couldn't have been that type of situation that he would have said such a thing. Truly, the policemen should, even our Lord Jesus Christ, when Peter was with him and the Roman soldiers came, he brought out the nobody knew that Peter was having a sword, and he chopped up the ear of that guy that came with them. So there is always safety. There's always safety. But the thing is that once you are with members of the public, there is always restraint. There is always, you have to bring in professionalism. You have to understand the rule of law. There are so many things that goes with it. For the fact that you are holding the gun, it does not mean that you should just start using it anyhow. But when you are getting overwhelmed, then you can use it to shoot in the air to scare them, or use it to not to kill. but to use it to escape from the wrath of the man that is coming out against you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. That will be all from your end. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. We'll be calling you when need arises. Thank you very much, Ben.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Yeah, Chidi, let me go because we are getting signal to run. But
Right.
I'll plead with you that next episode of this program for you to join us because we'll continue part 2 of this next week by God's willing.
Okay.
Yeah, the military coming to aid the police. Would you say that they did well when they came out? Because the statement said that they came to enforce the curfew. Did you say that the military acted right and constitutionally?
The military acted based on the need.
Okay.
There was a serious need to assist the police. Look, don't forget that the internal security operations of the military always happens when the situation is beyond the capacity of the civil police. So in this situation, the military had no option. They have no option left other than to assist at that point in time. Otherwise, the country would have been in flames.
All right. Okay, the country will have been in flame. God will not allow us to go in flame. Thank you. Like you promised, next week we'll continue with this program because we must leave for other programs to continue. Until we come your way again next week, I say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.